Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. And incomplete to open things up.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Hall. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Give to Hall running right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 41 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
A give running right is Hall. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Stopped in his tracks by Ahmad Gardner.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Flacco. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And they'll bring Judy in motion right. And he'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Will McDonald there on the tackle.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
From the gun, Flacco. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Hall ought to give up the middle. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Fields now to throw. He'll find Reynolds over the middle. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now it's Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Now 2nd and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now Flacco. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Over the middle, complete. It's Reynolds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll give to Hall. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Throw, Fields. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Fields. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. As they've got it as we resume action. He's got it. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They'll run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he powers his way up past the 30. Isaiah Oliver there on the tackle.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, Everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chatter right now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's going to have a Browns first down as he gets it up past the 35.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 2. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 43. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Second down and 4. Flacco. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Flacco. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's the Jets punter now. DeAndre Carter back deep. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Passing play, Flacco. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And this, look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Now we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Ball again on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's Fields. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. 20, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Off play action, Fields. A throw left sideline, falls incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 yards there on the first down pickup.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Fields. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Over the middle here to Wilson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Fields throwing again. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Here's Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Looking to throw. Fields. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Second down and a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Play action. It's Fields. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reynolds. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. Operating from the gun. Fields. Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Josh Reynolds as the first half is winding down. And the Jets have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Carlson's extra point up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. To pass, Flacco. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Flacco. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Second and 6. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's second and 10. Now it's Fields. Caught by Wilson. And he's going to be taken to the ground right there at the 35-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
That's thrown quickly out wide to Lazard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Out of the gun, Fields. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively. You could almost see him going through the coaching points. Adjust, find the football, knock it away. Well executed.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again is Fields. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Back to throw, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Eyes in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish, but looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process. Fields. Wilson's got it complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Here's a give to Hall. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. From the gun, here's Fields. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Allen Lazard. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets have taken the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's Jermaine Johnson stopping that play before it begins, dropping it for a loss.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Here is 3rd and 5. Passing play, Flacco. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 33. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Now Flacco. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. Open man, that's Tillman. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a...
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are all tied at 28. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. Slant pass. He's got Reynolds. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. To the air again, Fields. Going right back to Wilson. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Now Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So third down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's Flacco. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Hall again. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 5. From the 50, here's Fields. He finds Wilson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
To throw is Fields. That's complete right side to Lazard. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Off play action, Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's back. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Fields. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Again, Fields. Out right, he's got Ruckert. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on 1st and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
On 2nd and goal, Fields. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall from 4 yards out. And the Jets get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Flacco. And the catch made by Johnson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
This 2nd and 4. Here's Flacco. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The Browns on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Flacco looks to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 31-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Gets this over the middle to Tillman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 23, here's 2nd and a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Play action, Flacco. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
2nd and 10. To pass, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Now it's Flacco. That is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy from 21 yards away. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Quick throw complete to Reynolds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. A handoff for Hall. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Here's Hall again. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Hall. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Handoff running left. Here's Hall. And he will have a Jets 1st down, and that should just about do it.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take the knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now, let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.